Hey guys, what's up? It's Carmen Chloe of redefiningwidowhood.com and carmenchloeglobal.com. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the topic of, is a widow considered single? Is a widow considered single? This is something that I've discussed with some of my other widow companions, widow sisters from time to time. I've realized on this journey that different people have different perspectives, different people have different affinities, different people have different triggers. So depending on who you're speaking to, a woman who has been widowed, they may consider themselves single, like right out the gate. For me and my journey, I initially, like in the beginning, I grabbed a hold of the word widow. Like I remember the day after my husband passed away, I remember posting on Facebook. It was like the first post that I posted, like letting people know what happened. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm a widow at the age of 38. And it's like I embrace the word, I guess, because you can consider me a realist. It's kind of like, okay, it is what it is. But then other widows that I've encountered were like, you couldn't call me that word. I don't connect to that word. I hate that word. It's just so discounting and disrespectful, and I don't like it. And I get it because we all have our own triggers. Now, the word single, I was in the very beginning, it may have been like a couple of weeks after my husband passed away, I was listening to a sermon by my former apostle at the church in Atlanta that I went to, and he was doing a series on dating and relationships, and it was from the perspective of a biblical perspective, but it was for single people and married people. I remember sitting in the sanctuary and I'm like, this is a great teaching, but it doesn't apply to me at all. It doesn't apply to me at all because I still feel like I'm married, but I'm not. So he's gearing this towards the married people who are still in the covenant of marriage, the covenant of, being able to have spiritually legal sex, if you will. And then he starts talking to the single people, and I'm like, technically, by society standards, I guess they would consider me single, but I don't connect with the singles. Like, it's not like I've been celibate for 10 years and single and just waiting on Mr. Right. Like I literally was married on a Saturday and widowed on a Sunday. So I don't connect with the single title, the single mentality. Like I've been married for 6.5 years and now all of a sudden I am not. So I was in this crazy, just weird type of space. And I had one of my friends, and she was like, you're available now. She said this like months after, and I was like, no, I'm not available. Like, I'm not married anymore because I'm widowed. Technically, I'm single, but like, I'm not available because I'm just not emotionally available right now. Like, I have to go through my process. So I think it really all depends on what part of the journey you're in. And I think it also depends on your triggers. Like, I think for the people who just are disgusted by the word widow, they may embrace the word single. For the people who are ready to date again and mingle and find their chapter 2, they may embrace that word single. But for me, and it could just be my personality, my journey, like I'm widowed. I'm not single. I'm widowed. And that just that whole conundrum is how I came up with the single married widow title of my tribe. That was the initial name of the tribe. I've since changed it to Redefining Widowhood, but it just had me thinking like, okay, is a widow considered single? And I think by society standards, they just look at us as like single, like you're not married, so you're single. But then it's like, no, like there's a reason why I'm not married anymore. And it's not because I was waiting on Mr. Right or because I was being celibate or something like that. It's because like my husband was here one day and then gone the next day. So I would love to hear your opinions. If you're watching this video and you are widowed, or if you're a woman who has lost their husband to death, I would like to know your perspective on this. Do you embrace the term single? Do you just consider yourself single now? Or do you like to make it known to people that you're widowed, that you had a relationship, you had a marriage, and it just ended in death? So I'd love to hear your opinions. Make sure you check the description section to see how you can connect with me. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.